Hey, how can I help you?
I have here an Egyptian scarab ring. It was given to me by my father a couple of years before he passed away. And I'd like to know if this is the real thing or not.
All right. So was your dad like Indiana Jones or something like that?
Not in the least. The scarab ring is from the 18th dynasty, 1500 BC. My father received the ring from his stepmother, who was a world traveler. I'm selling the ring because I would like to see it go to someone who could really appreciate the artifact.
This is really cool. Do you mind if I pick this up?
Oh, no, go right ahead.
Okay. It's a scarab. Way back in Egypt, everybody had one. It was more or less the equivalent of people wearing a cross or something like that. I mean, sometimes they'd drill a hole in it and put like a little piece of leather around it to really, really extravagant jewelry that the pharaohs would wear.
Right.
Scarabs are generally carved from stone and glazed either blue or green. It looks like an old scarab, but the question is it really 3,000 years old? Ooh, what is this?
Oh, that is the card from the guy that sold it over in Egypt. And he wrote on the back that it's guaranteed that it's from the 18th dynasty, 1500 BC.
Okay. So I'm assuming you want to sell it?
Yes, I do.
And how much would that be for?
I would like 15,000 for it.
Okay. Do you mind if I have someone look at it?
No, that would be great.
Okay.
I'd really like that.
I mean, this thing truly is 3,500 years old. There's something here, but I am not a 18th dynasty scarab jewelry expert. But believe it or not, I know someone who is.
Really? No kidding.
Yes, I do. Give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna give him a call and see what he thinks of it.
That
Okay?
sounds good.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, thanks. I am really looking forward to an expert coming because the ring is something different that I think the shop would have no problem selling. I haven't seen too many of them around.
She has a scarab ring her grandmother picked up in Egypt, and this is the only paperwork she has right here. And remember, they don't have a better business bureau there.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Do you mind if I touch the ring?
Oh, go right ahead.
This beetle was a dung beetle. As these dung beetles would roll this big ball of dung that they would deposit their eggs in, that one will die. A new beetle would come from that ball and then turn around and start pushing the ball. And so for the Egyptians, when they looked at that, they said, well, look, that thing's magical. It's got eternal life. And consequently, it became a very magical bug to them.
That is neat.
The Egyptians put the scarab on rings, they put it on necklaces, they painted it on the front of the mummy, and even on the entryways to the Egyptian temples. So that's how important of a symbol the scarab was.
So is it real?
And brought my little magnifying glass along here so that maybe you guys can see as well. Right there is a sun, a rake, and a scarab. Underneath it, an ibis. And that says to me 18th dynasty. And King Tut came from this dynasty. Usually one of these went in almost every mummy. And there were a lot of people that died in all those thousands of years, so there are quite a few of these in Egypt, is what I'm trying to say. Now, the second thing you have to look at with this, that when I study the gold work on this, can you see the rope work on there? That sort of gold work is very indicative of like turn of the century, 1900 to maybe like 1905, 1910. It could have been made in Egypt, and a lot of those antiques went on with the King Tut exhibit to be souvenirs.
So this is probably a real scarab, though.
I think that is a real scarab, and from the look of it, it looks 3,000 years old.
Okay, so what do you think it's worth?
Well, you can get a scarab like that, I'm gonna say right now, for maybe $250.
So $250 plus like $200 in gold?
So you're looking at right around $450 to $500.
Thanks, man. You're the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for solving the mystery.
I enjoyed seeing it. I think this is an excellent buy for the shop because the ring is beautifully created and it's still in good condition.
Okay, so obviously it's not going to be $15,000.
No, I guess not.
I would give you right around $350 for it.
1,500?
No, it makes no economic sense for me to do this. I can literally make these for $450.
500.
No. I'm being really, really nice at $350. I really am.
$375?
I'll tell you what, I will give you $360.
All right, I'll take it.
We got a deal then.
We got
All
a deal.
Follow me right up front.
I think I'm gonna take the $360. My husband and I can go out and have a really nice steak dinner, and lobster too.
Hey, what's up, man?
Nice to see you.
What have we got this time?
Okay, this time I have brought for you the most incomplete book that I've ever brought. This is an actual printed page from the Gutenberg Bible, the very first printed book.
Well, there was printing before Gutenberg's printing press, but those all sucked.
This time I think I brought Rick something really unbelievable. It's a single leaf from the Gutenberg Bible. It's really the first substantial printed book in the history of the world.
So we have a leaf here, which is a page.
This is one page from the Gutenberg Bible. You may ask why there is only one page. In the 1920s, a famous book dealer named Gabriel Wells came upon an incomplete copy of the Gutenberg Bible, and he broke it up into single pages, and he put it with a bibliographical essay, and he had it very beautifully bound, and he sold them as single pages where he puts a leaf of the Gutenberg Bible and in the approximate years that they believe it was printed.
Is it printed on the other side?
Yeah, it's a double-sided leaf. It's printed on very fine paper that they imported from Italy into Germany in the period. And it's been hand rubricated with colors, with red and blue, after it's been printed, so that it looked more like a manuscript.
That's pretty amazing.
The Gutenberg Bible to this day is regarded as one of the most beautifully printed books.
He had to invent the type. He had to invent the press that it went into. He had to invent the ink. It was a massive undertaking.
It's like the internet, to think how quickly they went from printing a book like this to having people copy the invention, to go throughout Europe, setting up printing centers all through Europe within 50 years.
It literally was like the internet. It went from this to scientific books, to fiction, to dirty pictures, to a little bit of everything. And
Well, there's no more important invention in the history of democracy than the printing press, because it's the democratization of knowledge. It puts the power of knowledge into the hands of the people.
Johann Gutenberg invented the first practical movable type printing press. And with that, he printed the Gutenberg Bible. Before that, books were still written by hand.
and the only people that could afford them were the super rich. So because of his printing press, he eventually brought literature to the masses. So that makes anything associated with Gutenberg and his printing press worth a literal fortune. And you found this in one of your travels?
Well, this came from an estate. It originally belonged to a printer, and I bought it from the estate. I mean, I was beyond thrilled to find it. This particular leaf is from the Old Testament. It's from the second book of Chronicles, which is towards the end of the Hebrew Bible, and it talks about the purification of the temple in Jerusalem.
Cool. Okay, so the big question, how much you want for it?
I came up with a number, and you better brace yourself, but remember the importance of the book, of $65,000 for the page.
Okay. Like always, I'm gonna call Rebecca. Let me get her down here.
I would be delighted. She's going to be, I
mean,
think she'll be
it's-
flawed to see it.
$65,000.
Hello.
The world's most famous book person meets the world's most famous book.
Is that what I think it is?
That's a page of it.
Right, a leaf.
A page to me, a leaf to you.
Well, a page is actually one side and then the other, so it's 2 pages, 1 leaf.
All right, you got me. Okay.
Well, the most important thing is it's a leaf from the Gutenberg Bible.
Yeah, and I just touched it. The Gutenberg Bible, I
That's
just touched
okay.
it.
So when was the last complete Gutenberg Bible sold?
The full set hasn't been sold since the 70s.
Yeah, it's been decades upon decades.
Okay,
And in the
and-
meantime, other books have gone for over $10 million. I mean, this would just be astronomical. It would break all the records.
So the thing is it real?
Can I hold it up to the light?
Sure.
I've seen Gutenberg Bibles before, but I don't think that I've had a chance at this length to really inspect one. Like, this is a chance that most people are never going to get, even rare book specialists.
I would touch it, but I'm afraid I'd catch on fire.
I'm holding it up to the light so that I can see the chain lines that you see in handmade paper that comes specifically from paper of this period.
It's real, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What's it worth?
Dealers I know and trust, they're gonna place this around $80,000. So I think that is fair to ask for the way things are looking right now in the market.
You're the best.
Yep, happy to help.
Well, thanks so much, Rebecca. Really
Yep.
appreciate it. So you heard from your friend and eminent book expert.
So how much would you be willing to go? Of all the business we've done over the years, like,
You give me a number, what you're comfortable with.
40,000.
I can't do 40 on it.
I mean, that's what I feel comfortable with. Auctions are definitely not an exact science.
Yeah, I mean, 40,000 is just so on the low scale in terms of what I can take for it. I mean, I didn't even want to come down so low, but 55. You know, I'm trying to be fair with you, Rick.
And I know you are. I would go 45,000. That's the best I could do.
I'm going to offer it to you for 47,000, and it would be foolish for you to say no. And that is a price I did not imagine I would even agree to.
I have a CFO in an office right down the hallway that's going to be really mad at me. So 47, we got to do
You're
it.
not going to be mad when you make a small fortune on it.
It's amazing. I'll meet you right up front. Let me get someone to keep an eye on this, and I'll do some paperwork.
Why do you need someone to keep an eye? It's only a page.
No, it's 2 pages. It's 1 leaf.
Oh, you're right. Thanks.
That's right. I now own a page of the Gutenberg Bible.
Hey, how's it going? What do we have?
We have a pottery duck from Colima, Mexico.
All right, Pops, you know anything about ducks from Colima, Mexico?
A little bit. You liked rubber duckies when you were a kid. Filled the bathtub up with them. He had a blast with them when he was like 3.
I'm at the pawn shop today to sell my old pottery duck. I got the duck from an antique shop in Scottsdale, Arizona, and ever since then, just weird things, you know, happening around the house, and couldn't figure out what it was until everything started falling around the duck. So that's why I'm looking to sell it. I'm asking $4,000 for the duck because it looks pretty old. I mean, it does have magic powers.
I actually think it's kind of cool. It looks old. It looks like the pottery they made, you know, like a couple thousand years ago. The indigenous people of Mexico were incredible artists when it came to pottery.
So, I mean, what do you think it was used for? Were you supposed to drink out of it or something?
It was probably something ceremonial. They truly believed that the animals, after you passed away, they would guide you to the next world. So that's why they did a lot of pottery with animals.
What religion is the duck in?
Probably an ancient religion that doesn't exist anymore.
Ever since I've had it, it's just some weird things have been happening around the house.
Well, what kind of weird stuff happens?
Well, things like fall off the shelves. I hear weird noises.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably not the duck's fault.
Now, the craftsmanship's amazing. You can still see, whereas in the kiln, burn marks and everything on the bottom. So it went into a kiln like this, and it came out with those beautiful finishes on it. I mean, if you looked at this from 3 or 4 feet away, it looks like wood. I mean, that's how beautiful they did it. I think it's kind of amazing. How much are you looking to get out of this?
About 4,000.
Okay, it's got me intrigued because it could be very, very old. But it's in incredible condition, which is kind of scary. Because usually there's chipped and, you know, if it's 2,000 years old, like, you know, you have kids playing with it and everything.
Any place you go in Mexico, there's like, you know, counterfeit versions of stuff like this.
I'd like someone to look at it, if you don't mind.
I don't know.
Can you give Bob a call? I have a friend who will know a lot about this. All right?
Hang on, I'll be back in a little bit, okay?
I'm hoping the expert can value it to my asking price because I want to get rid of it.
What's up, Bob? How you doing?
Hi there, how are you? That is quite the duck. I can tell you a couple things about it. 2,000 years ago, they made animals to go into a tomb, and they'd lay the body and they'd place these animals around. All of the animals that they would put in the tomb had a function. They'd be companions, they'd be spirit guides, but most of them were to be eaten in the afterlife. A big fat duck like this was going to be somebody's dinner in the afterlife. It would have only gone to somebody fairly important. And this form, very rare. Can I take a look at it?
Yeah, go right ahead.
One of the things that I'm noticing, it's got the burnishing lines, so they would use a stone, and they would polish this extensively before it would go in the kiln. Got nice manganese blooms, but I see a repair here. I see that there are repairs in the body. They're almost invisible, so whoever restored this, they did a fabulous job.
So you think this is 100% real?
Yeah, 100% real, 300 BC to 300 AD, ancient.
So what's it worth?
It's authentic, it's old, it's rare, it's stunning. 8,000.
Okay.
You're not gonna whip out like your X-ray machine or anything on it?
I don't need to. It's got all the signs you want to see.
Well, Bob, I appreciate you coming down.
My pleasure. It's amazing to see anything that's 2,000 years old, but it was in a tomb that has been protected from the elements and the ages. So of all of the ancient cultures, Kolyma seemed to survive the best.
So you want 4,000 for it? Okay, I mean, I give you 4 because it does take a long time to sell it.
Okay, awesome.
right.
Please.
You want to go write her up?
All right, luckily I'm not superstitious, so I'll meet you up over there.
All right.
And he's going to pay her in $100 bills. Guy came in with a very interesting Chinese bowl from the Qianlong period. I just don't know a lot about Chinese porcelain. So I called in a buddy of mine who is an expert in Asian antiques.
Wow. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of Chinese ceramic. It's still absolutely in impeccable condition. I mean, I'm going to say museum quality for what I've seen. I am Dr. Phineas Castle, and I'm an expert in Asian art and antiques and architecture. I lived in Asia for 7 years, studying the art, the architecture, and the artifacts from an anthropological point of view.
So tell me what you know about it.
You know what I love about it? Do you see the iridescence of that bowl? The iridescence was actually done by grinding pearls and putting pearls into the glaze itself. This bowl was used to hold water and rose petals for the royal court.
I find it really interesting. I find it really cool, but is it real?
So to really know whether this is a Qianlong bowl or not is to look on the back. As you look at ancient Chinese configurations, you're going to get 6 figures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I look at this, what I'm seeing here, this means Chia, and this says Ching, Chia Qing dynasty. Unfortunately, this is not Qianlong. This is another dynasty. And the Chia Qing dynasty was after Qianlong. This was the dynasty of his son.
So it's Chia Chen, not Qianlong.
We are Chia Qing bowl.
Okay, Chia Chen.
So I absolutely do believe it is authentic to that dynasty.
All right, so what do you think it's worth?
Okay, so I'm going to say a good, solid wholesale price on it would be $3,000.
Okay. Well, thanks, man.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
I really
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
I am absolutely amazed that there's a bowl like that floating around. How did that bowl get to Las Vegas? My hope is that someday it may end up in a museum.
Okay.
A final offer would be $4,500.
You know, I should pay $3,000 for it. I'll pay $3,500 because I find it a really fascinating piece and I think it'll sell.
Well, I have been offered more for it. Would you consider 4?
I'll tell you what, I'll go 38 and I'm probably crazy for doing it.
Okay, I'll take the 38.
Okay, cool. I really appreciate it. Leave that right there. Follow me and we'll go do some paperwork.
3,800 is pretty close to the 4,000 that I was really asking. I am smiling because I can buy another piece.
How's it going?
Good. How can I help you?
I actually think I can help you. I have what I'm hoping is a very, very old, very rare coin.
Cool.
I figured I'd come in and see if it's worth what I think it's worth, which is a substantial amount.
Okay. It sounds like you're in the sales business.
I actually know very little about the coin. I got it from a family member who purchased it at an auction about 30 years ago. The little bit of research that I did, the value is very extensive, so I'm kind of shooting for about 20 grand. I don't think it's unreasonable for me to ask for that.
Okay. I mean, this is really, really cool. How'd you get it?
From my understanding, it was purchased in auction 30 years ago. I got it in a will.
Okay. It's a little weird. I can guarantee you it's from the Eastern Mediterranean.
Okay.
And there's literally hundreds, if not over 1,000 coins like this. They're all from different city-states, different countries, Egypt, Greece, Sicily. You know, they put their own faces on it and everything else like that. But basically the same amount of silver, same weight. So it made trade really easy between those cities.
Right, that makes sense.
And that's one of the parts that gets confusing with these coins is dating them and figuring out which city it came from. There's tons of little ones, but the big ones like this, there's not a whole lot of them. What you have here can be worth a lot of money. These things go from anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000.
I could live with that.
But there's 500 fakes for every real one. A couple thousand years ago, cities were making their own coins. And most large coins like this didn't survive. When that city was conquered, they'd usually take all those coins, melt them down, and make their own coins. If this thing is real, I imagine it's pretty rare and could be worth a big chunk of change. How much do you want for it?
Completely honest, was hoping about 20 grand.
Okay.
And like you said, between 10 and 100, so I figure right now we're at the low end. I could probably go higher.
You know, my big concerns is like, it's in really good shape.
No, absolutely.
Okay, it's struck really well. Most of these coins, the figure on the front and these figures on the back are way off center because they had the coin dies and they put a silver slug in them and they stood back 5 feet with a 5-foot long hammer. And then they had to strike them a few times.
Okay.
So generally when it's too good to be true, I mean, there's a chance this could be real, but I'm assuming it's fake.
I firmly believe this one's real.
Okay.
Like, the person who had it actually was an avid collector, so I don't believe he would have had it if it was fake.
So do you have any paperwork with it?
I do not know, not personally.
Let me have someone take a look at it. I have a friend of mine who this is basically what he deals with is ancient coins, and you need a guy much nerdier than I am to tell you everything about it.
I think you're doing pretty good as far as being a nerd, but if you want to bring in a better one, great.
Just give me 5 minutes. I'm going to someone
Sure,
call.
no problem. Thank you. He's calling in an expert, which is only going to help my team. Like, I know this thing's real. I have a feeling that he's going to be pleasantly surprised.
This is the deal. Is it real?
Wow. The Syracuse Decadrachm.
I just know there's like 500 fakes of these for every real one.
The Decadrachms of Syracuse are among the most sought after of all ancient coins. So if this is real, this is a home run.
What year?
400 to 360 BC, right in that range. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a chariot scene, crowning the victorious charioteer.
So who's the person on the front?
This lady is Arethusa, a water nymph. You know, fresh water was very important to the ancients, and they revered it, and they had nymphs that represented it.
See, only he would know this.
You brought in a legit nerd, yes.
Yeah.
So is it real?
Let me take a look. If it's real, it's worth a pretty penny. Okay, I have news. It's absolutely genuine. Absolutely genuine.
That's awesome. Okay.
All the features line up. It has great metal quality. The strike is excellent. And cast counterfeits have a soapy look to them. On this coin, everything was razor sharp.
How much money we got here?
This one looks to me like a solid $50,000.
Wow.
Almost right on the mark.
I might hug you.
Yeah. In that case, it's fake. Yeah.
All right. You're the best, man.
All right, man. I know Rick loves these coins, and usually they're counterfeit. This one happens to be genuine, so if you can pick it up at the right price, I think it's a good purchase.
He set the price, so go ahead. That's fine.
No, I mean, that's what I can get out of it.
Right.
I'll give you 35 grand for it. Which is more than you were looking to get for earlier. It's,
But then I'm leaving like
you're not leaving anything on the table. You know who's going to buy it for more?
not personally, but
Maybe 1 out of 1,000 people will spend $50,000 on a collectible something or the other.
I mean, 50,000 down to 35. I just believe that we can meet in the middle somewhere.
But you're in at nothing.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. But still, that's not, I mean,
Auctions cost money.
Right.
They're real creative with the fees. I mean, they're worse than banks. I'll tell you what, I'll give you 40 grand. Anything more than that makes 0 sense for me, and that's what you can get.
okay. 40,000's fair.
Okay, all right, cool, man, this is great.
Do I get one of those big checks?
No.
Although I could do the responsible thing and put the $40,000 towards college funds for the kids. Maybe we'll take a family vacation. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun.
You have a towel?
This is a mummified falcon from ancient Egypt.
Is this like the sarcophagus?
That is a sarcophagus, yes, sir.
All right, let's go ahead.
Okay.
Whoa, that is different. Oh yeah, it's my first mummified bird ever in my shop.
Mummified falcons from ancient Egypt were used as religious offerings to honor the god Horus, and they were even people's pets that might be buried with them. I bought it originally as an investment, so let's hope the ancient gods are smiling favorably on me today and I'll make a lot of money.
It's definitely incredibly cool. I haven't decided if it's creepy yet or not. Where the hell did you get this?
I acquired this at an estate auction. Bought it on a whim.
Do you know where it was taken or what tomb or anything?
I have absolutely no information.
All right. Their techniques for preservation were pretty damn good. You know, they would cut you open, take out all your organs, treat them, and then put them back in your body. And they would literally go through your nose and knock a hole into your skull and suck your brains out. But depending on how much money you had was how well you were mummified.
Sure.
I mean, it looks like there was some attention to detail.
One interesting thing is on this one, you can actually see the shape of the wings, so you can tell it's a complete bird.
As much as this mummified bird freaks me out, it's sort of cool to see it in my shop and not in a museum. Something from ancient Egypt that is in this good a shape and this rare, I imagine there's not a lot of these in private hands.
I think it's breathtaking.
So how much do you want for it?
I'm asking $15,000.
There's a few little weird concerns I have about it. You have no paperwork, and putting a value on it is difficult. But there is something neat here. So I actually have a friend who's an archaeologist, and I want him to come down and take a look at this. So
let's get him down here. I'd love to learn more about it. Sure.
All right, cool.
I'm not particularly worried about it coming up as a fake. I've never had it authenticated. In fact, that was one of the reasons that I brought the item in today, was hoping to learn more about it.
Tom, what's up, man?
What's going on, Rick?
That.
Oh, my.
It's not a common thing to get ancient mummies in the shop. But since I did today, I want to call on my buddy Thomas, who's an archaeologist. He'll be able to confirm if this is authentic and how old it is.
I don't get an opportunity to see something like this very often. The falcon represents the god Horus. The right eye represents the sun, and the left eye represents the moon. The wings of the falcon represent heaven. Well, mummification is just a way of preserving something for eternity. But there's also a religious side to it, where they believe mummification would facilitate them getting on to the next level of being, which is after the death.
It came from the estate of somebody who had a large collection of Egyptian artifacts.
It looks really nice. I just am a little concerned. In the last 20 or 30 years, they've actually been producing reproductions of these made for the tourist industry. So I want to expect it a little bit closer with the loop.
It doesn't say made in China on the back of it, does it?
I thought of doing that for a joke.
No. This is a flax linen. And what also, you see the geometric pattern, the way this has been wrapped? Very, very beautiful weaving. Not every mummy is wrapped as well as this. And if it's not a modern reproduction, the style of the wrapping and the sarcophagus itself tells me that it comes from the Ptolemaic period, 2,600 years old.
Okay. Is it legit? I mean...
Well, it's pretty difficult to fake what I'm seeing on here in terms of the age on the linen. But the sarcophagus is much larger than the actual mummy. Does that mean that it's not together? No. But it's unusual. The Ptolemaic period has a special look to how the mummies were done, how they were wrapped, how the sarcophagi look. So everything about this mummy tells me it's the real deal. Okay. And it's not just a real deal, this is one of the better mummified falcons I've ever seen.
Hey, so what's it worth?
Oh, that's a good question. I would think the two, they're not matched size, but boy, they sure look good together, be in the neighborhood of $10,000 to $12,000.
Okay. I still find it so weird. All right, thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for calling me on this. All right, see you.
Thank you.
As beautiful as this specimen is, the more information he could have provided would have elevated the value.
You know, I'd give you like $8 grand for it, because I have to resell it.
I'm still pretty much at $15,000. I don't see any auctions where these go for under $12,000, and those are rough. They're not even real birds.
I'm gonna go with my guy. I can do 8, that's all I can do. That really is, I'm throwing you everything.
Wow. I think the best I'm gonna be able to do would be to come down to his upper limit, which would be in the $12,000 range.
There's no way I can do it. There's risk in buying it. And if I buy it, I'm gonna make money.
I can't do $8,000.
Okay. Well, if you change your mind, give me a call. How we going, man?
Okay. I didn't take the offer because I really feel like I could get more for it somewhere else, and just, I believe the item is worth more than that. It's worth more than that to me anyway.
Hey, son.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, how about you?
All right.
I got something here I want you to look at.
What do we got here?
It's an old sundial.
Okay. Hey, Pops.
What?
Come here.
Hang on a minute.
Pops, come here.
What do you want?
Do you know how this thing works?
No, Rick, I ain't that old, and I got a wristwatch.
I came to the pawn shop today to pawn my sundial. I really don't want to sell the thing off. It's kind of got a little sentimental value. I don't really know what it's worth. I just want a little extra money while I'm in Vegas.
So how did you get this?
My father picked it up over in Germany once, back in World War II. He picked it up out of a house or something.
Okay, so I take it didn't buy it. I guess it was a war prize.
It was a war prize, I think.
During World War II, they let you do that.
Yeah, you get all you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, all you had to do is fill out this little spoil of war form.
Spoils of war are basically when U.S. servicemen commandeered things during World War I and World War II. And it could have been anything. All you had to do was fill out some paperwork, put a stamp on it, and send it home.
It's a neat little thing. It's pretty accurate.
Do you know how to use it?
You hold it up and hold it north, let the thing go north, and this little string that's on it, it carries you what time it is across it on there.
Okay. So you hold it, like, no, you line up that line right there?
Line it up there, and then whatever the sun is in your back there, it rings to the dial around it there.
Oh, that's neat.
People have been using the sun to tell time for ages, and I've seen a ton of sundials, but I have never seen one this intricate.
Well, it's ivory.
That's a good thing, ain't it?
Uh-huh, yeah, it's definitely a good thing. And this is either French or Latin, and it says 1662. Whether that's just a number or a date, I don't know.
I didn't know if that was that old or not.
If it's that old, I mean, it's in wonderful condition. Do we know what this does right here? There's something there. I have no idea what that does, but there's something right there. Whoa.
I don't know if it's something to reset the dials or what in it.
I don't know what that is. I'm gonna put it back in there, though.
I've never seen anything like this, and I'm just dying to find out more.
Did you want to pawn it or sell it, or?
I want to just pawn it and everything. You know, it is something my father gave me and stuff, and I don't want to sell it right now.
Okay. How much did you want to borrow?
I need $500–600.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I'd really like someone to look at it first. This thing could be worth a lot of money. Well, let me call a buddy in here and let him take a look at it.
Okay.
We'll figure out what it's worth, and if everything's good, I'll loan you the money.
Okay.
Okay?
I appreciate it.
This guy has no idea what he has here, and I really don't have any idea what he's got. But all I know is it's probably worth a lot more than $600.
I figured that was your department.
I deal in antiques and scientific instruments. One of the coolest things about scientific instruments is their age, the technology behind them, where they've been, who owned them, and just the whole mystique behind that. This is what's known as a Nuremberg dial. So what are your concerns with this item?
My gut feeling is it's real. I mean, I don't know if it's 1662, and to tell you the truth, I have no idea what it's worth.
Well, sundials date back before Christ, and what you've got here is really an old-fashioned digital watch because it had so many functions combined into one instrument. There are 3 different dials in this particular sundial. You've got a vertical pin dial, a string gnomon dial that's vertical, and another horizontal dial.
What in the world is a gnomon dial?
This is called the string gnomon. When this is orientated towards true north, the sun will be over my shoulder, and the sun's shadow will be cast by the string on the time of day on this circular dial underneath, indicating the time of day. For direction, on the top here, you have what's called a compass rose. If you look down through that hole and you point north, you'll see the tip of the compass needle. It's magnetic. On the bottom here, you have what's known as a lunar volvel. It has both the Gregorian and Julian calendars, but the cool thing about this is at night, when you had a full moon, you could actually tell what time it was.
How in the world did you do that?
It depends upon the orientation of the moon and the phase of the moon. And these little computations down here, if you line up the various numbers with what your observation is, it'll tell you within 15 minutes what the time of evening is.
That's amazing.
I had no idea this thing had so many functions. It's like the Swiss Army knife of sundials. I mean, they thought of everything. I am blown away by the technology and craftsmanship in this.
This is obviously a very detailed, delicate instrument. It would have been owned by nobility or someone who was very wealthy. It's made in Germany. It's signed Albrecht Karner. Karner happened to be one of a family of dial makers that was very well known in Germany at the time. This is the most incredible, pristine example that I've ever seen. There is absolutely no doubt that it's authentic. Here's a little secret down here. Have you ever had this open?
He opened it a while ago and something fell out of it.
Yeah. We put it back.
This is really an amazing aspect of this particular instrument. And I have never seen one that had the original still with it. This is 350 years and it survived there without falling out like it did earlier with you. Just absolutely amazing. If you put this little guy here in the top, what it becomes, this is a weather vane. And I have never seen one that had the original wind vane still with it. Buddy, you're in Vegas and you just hit the jackpot.
I needed to.
What do you think it's worth? What do you think it'll go for?
An average dial like this might sell from between $3,000 and $5,000, but one in this exceptional condition, they just do not come any better than this. There are examples in museum that don't hold a candle to this. This one, I would say, easily could fetch $7,000.
Thanks for coming by, Rod. I really appreciate it.
Nice meeting you.
I do, thank you. I'm pretty shocked right now. That thing was worth a fortune there, and I've been holding on to it for so long, I didn't know it was that valuable.
So do you still want to pawn it, or do you want to sell it to me?
I'm considering selling it to you if you'll come up good on me.
So what do you think's a fair price?
Well, you just heard him, probably $665.
I can't do that. I'll give you $3,000.
No, I can't take that. You heard what he said. That's a museum piece there.
Yeah, but a museum ain't gonna give you no money for it. I'll give you $4,000. I mean, it scares me. I mean, I don't know how long I'm gonna sit on this thing. That's a lot of money.
I'll take 48.5.
I'll go 42. That is like it.
Let's do this then. We're in Vegas. Let's flip a coin. 42 if you get it, 45 if I get it. You call the coin.
All right, go ahead. What the hell? Tails.
Head it is. Thank you, sir.
All right, let's go do some paperwork.
My intentions was to pawn it, but that was $4,500. My dad would think I was a nut just to keep that right there. Take the money and go with it.